stand in the way of continuing to teach. They supposed a small thing like Christmas wasn't going to put him off. It was amazing how he could make even bloody and vicious goblin riots sound as boring as Percy's Cauldron Bottom report. Professors McGonagall and Moody kept them working until the very last second of their classes too. And Snape, of course, would no sooner let them play games in class than adopt Harry. Staring nastily around at them all, he informed them that he would be testing them on poison antidotes during the last lesson of the term. Evil he is, Ron said bitterly that night in the Gryffindor common room, springing a test on us on the last day, ruining the last bit of term with a whole load of studying. You're not exactly straining yourself, though, are you? Said Hermione, looking at him over the top of her potions notes. Ron was busy building a card castle out of his exploding snap pack, a much more interesting pastime than the bubble cards, because of the chance that the whole thing would blow up any second. It's Christmas, Hermione, said Harry lazily. He was rereading Flying with the Candles for the 10th time in an armchair near the fire. Hermione looked severely over at him too. I'd have thought you'd be doing something constructive, Harry, even if you don't want to learn your antidotes. Like what? Harry said, as he watched Joey Jenkins of the Cannon's Belt a bludger toward a Ballycastle bat's chaser. That egg! Hermione hissed. Come on, Hermione, I've got till February the 24th, Harry said. He had put the golden egg upstairs in his trunk and hadn't opened it since the celebration party after the first task. There was still 2.5 months to go until he needed to know what all the screechy wailing meant, after all. But it might take weeks to work it out, said Hermione. You're going to look a real idiot if everyone else knows what the next task is and you don't. Leave him alone, Hermione. He's earned a bit of a break, said Ron. And he placed the last 2 cards on top of the castle, and the whole lot blew up, singeing his eyebrows. Nice look, Ron. Go well with your dress robes, that will. It was Fred and George. They sat down at the table with Harry, Ron and Hermione as Ron felt how much damage had been done. Ron, can we borrow Pigwidgeon? George asked. No, he's off delivering a letter, said Ron. Why? Because George wants to invite him to the ball, said Fred sarcastically. Because we want to send a letter, you stupid great prat, said George. Who do you two keep writing to, eh? Said Ron. Nose out, Ron, or I'll burn that for you too, said Fred, waving his wand threateningly. So, you not got dates for the ball yet? No, said Ron. Well, you better hurry up, mate, or all the good ones will be gone, said Fred. Who are you going with then? Said Ron. Angelina, said Fred promptly, without a trace of embarrassment. What? Said Ron, taken aback. You've already asked her? Good point, said Fred. He turned his head and called across the common room. Oi, Angelina! Angelina, who had been chatting with Alicia Spinnet near the fire, looked over at him. What? She called back. Want to come to the ball with me? Angelina gave Fred an appraising sort of look. All right then, she said, and she turned back to Alicia and carried on chatting with a bit of a grin on her face. There you go, said Fred to Harry and Ron. Piece of cake. He got to his feet, yawning, and said, We'd better use a school owl then, George. Come on. They left. Ron stopped feeling his eyebrows and looked across the smouldering wreck of his card castle at Harry. We should get a move on, you know. Ask someone. He's right. We don't want to end up with a pair of trolls. Hermione let out a sputter of indignation. A pair of what? Excuse me? Well, you know, said Ron, shrugging. I'd rather go alone than with Eloise Bigham, say. Her act is loads better lately, and she's really nice. Her nose is off-centre, said Ron. Oh, I see, Hermione said, bristling. So basically, you're going to take the best of
Hey, Daddy?
Even if she's completely
I had a question. If we have time, can we do the roundhouse tours? I think it's in Durango. I mean, it's free. That's why I was asking. Oh. Okay.
quite something to hear, "Oh, come all ye faithful," sung by an empty helmet that only knew half the words. Several times Filch, the caretaker, had to extract keys from inside the armor where he had taken to hiding, filling in the gaps in the songs with lyrics of his own invention, all of which were very good. And still, Harry hadn't asked Jo to the ball. He and Ron were getting nervous now, though, as Harry pointed out, Ron would look much less stupid than he would without a partner. Harry was supposed to be starting the dancing with the other champions. Yeah, but I suppose there's no way of knowing a little, he said gloomily, referring to the ghost who haunted the girls' toilets on the second floor. Harry, we've just got to grit our teeth and do it, said Ron on Friday morning, in a tone that suggested they were planning the storming of an impregnable fortress. When we get back to the common room tonight, we'll both have partners. Agreed? Okay, said Harry. But every time he glimpsed Jo that day, during break and then lunchtime, and once on the way to History of Magic, she was surrounded by friends. Didn't she ever go anywhere alone? Could he perhaps ambush her as she was going into a bathroom? But no, she even seemed to go there with an escort of 4 or 5 girls. Yet, if he didn't do it soon, she was bound to have been asked by somebody else. He found it hard to concentrate on Snape's potions test, and consequently forgot to add the key ingredient, Vissoir, meaning that he received bottom marks. He didn't care though, he was too busy screwing up his courage for what he was about to do. When the bell